Welcome to EXPO USN Porsgrunn 2021. First, let me introduce myself. I am Pradeep Baral, studying MSc Process Technology in USN Porsgrunn campus. Let me start by giving some background information regarding my thesis, literature review, and correlation of density for amines relevant for carbon dioxide capture process, which was supervised by Dr. Zulfikri Idris along with Dr. Dage Ayn. The main motive of my thesis is to compare the density of various amines and their mixture in carbon capture process and find its benefit for the reliability and effectiveness of the process in absorbing carbon dioxide. Due to the greenhouse gases, mainly oxides of carbon, sulfur, and nitrogen, releasing from various power plant, industries, factories, vehicles, etc., global warming is increasing day by day. The rapid emission of carbon dioxide is causing direct impact on us and our environment. So, on the way to overcome this problem, carbon dioxide can be captured through various processes and utilized in better manner. Carbon capture and storage (CCS) involves capturing, transporting, and storing greenhouse gas emission from different sources by injecting the captured greenhouse gases back in the ground. CO2 strategies. Post-combustion involves removal of carbon dioxide from flue gas produced by combustion of fossil fuels. Pre-combustion involves reaction of fuels with air and steam to give syngas, and oxy-fuel nearly produce oxygen, which is used for combustion instead of air. CO2 transport. Many points source of captured CO2 are far from geological and oceanic storage facility, so CO2 is mainly transported through pipeline and shipping. CO2 storage is done under geological sequestration, saline aquifer, oil and gas reservoirs, depleted oil and gas reservoir, coal beds, and ocean. Amine-based technology, you have the absorption column and deabsorption column, in which the solvent, which are particularly amines, which capture CO2 in the form of different other components like carbamate and bicarbonate are used, and most often primary, secondary, and tertiary amine are used in as a solvent in CO2 capture process because of their faster reaction with CO2, large net CO2 carrying capacity, low enthalpy of reaction with CO2, and low energy loss to heat and vaporize water. Physical properties of amine are very important to calculate and design absorption column, deabsorption column, pumps, etc. Most use amines as absorbent are primary and secondary amines, which have higher rate of reaction with CO2. Also the polyamines like piperazine, which are higher carrying capacity. The overall thesis consists of the experimental densities using different authors' data and the correlated density using Python code of different methods used by different authors. And for that, we need to have particular values of density at pure condition. So these are shortlisted, and the different mixtures, binary, tertiary, and CO2 low dewar mixtures. Experimental values of this mixture are taken and compared using these methods for correlation of densities in this thesis. Different formulas for calculating densities are given by different authors in their respective papers. For each of the correlation method, different parameters are required, hence taking experimental data from previous literature and the mathematical value of density obtained from coding is correlated using absolute average relative deviation and absolute maximum deviation for calculating overall performance of mathematical correlation. These are the results on the basis of AERD and AMD for different correlation method. At the end, the economic viability of carbon capture and storage on global scale largely depend on value and price that government and people put on ecosystem and environment viability. Unless it can be proven that CO2 can be permanently and safely stored over long term, option will be untenable whatever its additional benefit. Thank you.